Hello, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a 100-point game of my Saeryn up against Butcher, P. Butcher. So the story here is that in this month we actually had an extra league day that we could go and do, and I didn't need any games, or some other people didn't need any more games, so we thought, hey, let's try and do some crazy stuff. So we actually set up to do this 100-point game, and I gotta say, I'm still kind of an amateur at it. So when people told me 100 points and somebody told me one of these other type of rules was going to be going down, I can't remember what was said anymore. I just assumed it was one caster. So I got there, brought up my guys, one caster, and he was asking who my second was, and I said, oh, I'm not ready for that. Oh, sorry, I didn't know. And of course, I could easily add another one, but you have to do the whole process of breaking up which beast is for which. So he just said, you know what, no big deal. He just took out one of his other casters, can't remember who it was right now, and just made things work. So that was really nice of my opponent. So anyway, here we go. The mission we got is called this Walk in the Woods. I don't know if this is a standard one or if it's just from a tournament that they used around here, but there's going to be these three circles. One's off the camera to the right, but the first one, a 5-point wins. Usual stuff on the second player's second turn is when you can start scoring on these things. In order to score it, you have to have a unit completely inside it and not being contested. And then you have other stuff going on where at the start of every first player's turn you roll a dice, and on a 5+ is a storm. And unless you're in one of these woods, you're getting all this -2 movement and all these weird stat changes and stuff. So most of it didn't actually matter, save for if you're -2 rat and -2 defense. It's really the same thing for if you're shooting people outside of the woods, but it was the speed that really does kind of affect things. Anyway, so my 100 points, what I went with is I went with Saeryn, and I have a Carnivian there, I got a Rake on the left, a Harrier, 3 Shredders, then I have my Nephilim Protector, Nephilim Soldier, then I have my Scythian, I have another Carnivian, 2 more Shredders here, another Harrier, I have my Proteus, I have a Seraph, I have a Ravagore, I have Typhon, and you can see pushed up there I have my Tariff. Now, when I made this list, I would have loved to put in a lot more infantry, but really, a lot of my stuff isn't painted. I wanted it to look good, wanted everything to be painted, so I just thought, hey, let's make a theme and make everything monsters. And then, of course, that'll work really well with Saeryn's feet. So here it is, but of course, once I saw this mission, this is going to be very difficult because I need to have units to kind of work outside of my command range so they can be working on the outside zones. I'm going to be now very limited, and of course the hurting ability of Proteus is going to be massive. I mean, if it wasn't for Proteus, this would have been such a completely different game. So at least that kind of extends my one side, basically 7 inches. Anyway, my opponent here is playing Khador. He's a fairly seasoned player. He's second place in the league right now. And yeah, you can kind of see a bit of what he has. I don't know much of the names of these things, but yeah, I'm going to have another close-up. And as you can see, he has a pretty good flanking force on either side, which really worries me. And so when I was setting up, I actually set up first, and I'll be going first. My plan is to go mainly for the 2 left zones, and then have Typhon with all of his attacks and sprays, hopefully being able to tie up the right zone, if nothing else for the hope that I can either score fast enough to get ahead, or maybe even go for the caster kill if I really just slam in the front and pull my feet. And here's just another picture of the very center of what's really going to matter. He has all these pikemen in the middle. He has Behemoth. He has his Brigand. He has, what's that guy, Beast 09 there. So, I mean, it's a very powerful center. And, of course, anything with Butcher's Feet is going to be nasty. Also has those Kayazi Eliminators back there, so that's going to be a little bit tough. And, yeah, I'm just hoping that these, I think they're called Doom Reavers, I'm just hoping that he throws them up far enough that I can kill them off. But the problem is that, of course, with my Blight Bomb, I'd love to kill any of these batches of infantry, but I can only do one of them, so we'll have to see what happens. So, like I said, I had first turn, and I just picked some of my things here to run up. A lot of the Shredders and the Lessers. There's just the one Carnivian I made sure to run up as well. Got up some Spiny Growth. And for the most part, that's really it. Just trying to push up a little bit. Don't want to be taking too many Berserk tests already. And then just hoping that he's going to be running up fast enough so that I can really countercharge and then maybe go for my feet fairly early. His turn 1, and this is my worst picture of the batch, but really what you can see here is that he's moving up along the line, and my favorite thing that I saw here is that these Doom Reavers really pushed up, so I'll have a chance to try and kill them off. He has some marksmen on the left that are starting into the left zone, and he also has the one Dragoon over there that's going to cause some trouble, and on the far right he has Fenris, which is going to the zone. So he's doing fairly good coverage for the zones, but if I can blitz through these Doom Reavers, or whatever they're called, then I can hopefully get to them fairly quickly. With some of his solos, he's also gone and killed one of my shredders on the left, so first blood to him. Ah, good. And then here I actually took a better picture for what it looks like here in the center. So, yeah, he has the one Beast 9 going to the right, and I have enough heavies there that I can beat him in that war, but then at the same time, I need to just be getting past all that and getting to Fenris and getting to the zone. And you can also see there that he has the Kodiak and he has a Berserker that's trying to sneak in through the left of Buddha, and hopefully my little Lessers can go and block him. So my next turn here, I had a little bit of trouble because unfortunately this is one of those storm turns, so my movement was a little bit reduced, and so I couldn't really do what I wanted to. So really I just kind of got myself into position and was going to start hoping for the best. So you can see on the right side, I really did fairly well. All those Doom Reaver guys are completely wiped out. Of course I can't get to his Fenris, but at least I'm in a good spot to try and counter. I'd actually tried shooting him with my Ravagore, but was short. Otherwise, in the center, I'm just kind of getting into the zone, setting up myself so I can be trying to knock down whatever he sends up into me. This is actually my feet turn, so I have my feet going, so pretty much everything that runs from my left Carnivian to the Seraph is all captured within my feet zone. And then on the left, he actually has the unit attachment there so that he had tough, but at this point he wasn't really making any tough rolls. Was able to kill a lot of these guys, and then also threw the Raic into the zone on the left, just on the hopes that he won't be able to kill him and score there. So on his turn, Fenris, all he has to do is move into the zone, and this will be a first point for him. On this side, he did his best to bog me down and then try to kill off the Raic. Luckily, my defense really saved me here, and he missed a whole bunch, and when he did hit me, it hurt, but I think right now I lost one of my branches, but the main thing is that he did his job, and he's still alive. Otherwise, his center looks like this, so most of it really didn't move up. He did shoot at me a little bit. He went and made my one Carnivian stationary. The little Spriggan just put his little toe into the forest just to make sure I didn't score there. And then otherwise, he just kind of shot at me with Behemoth the best he could, and he killed my Tariff, so that guy's gone. And then, yeah, you can see that for sure now his Berserker and his Kodiak are trying to sneak through, but luckily this is now where the storm is helping me out and slowing his already slow jacks down. Alright then, so now we're on to my turn 3, and again, I mean, it really helps having that Proteus. I can't say that enough. Just having that extra range over here to be drawing things off. I did unfortunately have my Seraph Berserk and go and take a huge chunk out of my Proteus, so that kind of sucked. But otherwise, I was able to send my Typhon into the zone to contest it. My Ravagore shot Fenris and did a good amount of damage to him, but didn't unhorse him. On the left flank, I got in there, I unhorsed his other Dragoon, and of course, once you unhorse, he's able to be back enough so that I can't finish him off. My one Raic went and frenzied, but really all I'm doing there is just getting in there and doing my best just to kill off his guys, and it's actually looking fairly good. In the center, I really thought I could be really messing up that Spriggan and going for a lot more, especially I want to do the Blight Bomb, but unfortunately that damn Spriggan was so hard to take down that in the end I needed to send in my Scythian as well, and so I took 2 heavies to do it. I zipped up a couple of shredders just to hold up his little pikeman there, and so I could set up for my Blight Bomb, but this is actually where I kind of got caught with some sight issues, because all of a sudden Saeryn, because even though I left room, doesn't obviously have eyeless sight, and so couldn't see them to be putting on the Blight Bomb on them. So best I could do was just putting it on the Carnivian just to make sure he can't swamp the zone and hopefully kill a little bit more. On the left side, I sent in my 2 lights to go and bash up his Berserker, and I did a little bit of damage, but not really anything serious. And then here's just a quick little fast one of the center, and of course now I score a point for the center one, so it's now 1-1. So his turn 3 then on this side, he's able to finish off my Raic, so he's going to score on this side, making it 2-1. And even though I'm sure my Carnivean's going to be able to bash up some stuff, I'm not doing so well. He has me pretty blocked off to actually get into the zone, so that's going to be difficult. It's not in the picture, but just so you know, on the other side, he had Fenris go and slash up Typhon. He actually knocked out my body, so that's going to make things a little bit tougher, but he's still there. In the very center, I had the respawn on my Carnivean, but I mean, this is his feet turn. Those pikemen were able to hit me while being outside of the whole blight bomb, and they just stabbed me to death. I moved back, and then Behemoth just shot me in the face, and so the Carnivean's gone. He did a little bit of damage to my Scythian already, and then otherwise he is just bashing up my lights. My one Nephilim soldier is pretty bashed up, and yeah, this center battle is not going the way I wanted it to. He also killed off the 2 shredders there, obviously. My turn 4 then, and I do my best to retaliate. I can say on the right side I've now unhorsed Fenris, but of course, again, once you unhorse him, you can't really do anything else. On the left flag over here, I was able to kill off his little Dragoon guy here. I was able to kill off the rest of his Doom whatever guys, and plus with the little attachment. And then I just zipped in my Harrier just to contest the zone, and then, I mean, now that's looking good that after this my Carnivean can go in. Otherwise, my lights are smashing away at the Berserker as best I can. Really isn't doing that well. I finally now was able to move up the one Harrier and blight bomb that guy to kill a whole bunch of his pikemen. Unfortunately, this is a little bit too late. I had sent over the one Scythian before that, though, to go and charge into Beast 09 to try and do a bunch of damage to him. Unfortunately, because of the way that I need to get him out of the... He had to be gone first. One of the pikemen got a free strike and knocked out my spirit. So all I was able to do is the 2 attacks and a chain attack, which at least knocked out his movement and killed some of the pikemen around him. But yeah, now I'm going to be in a little bit of trouble. Proteus just ran into the zone to make sure I'm going to hold it down. And then the Seraph came over just to kill off some more of his guys he had over here. I destroyed one of his Kayazi eliminators, and then just some more of his pikemen and stuff like that. So still sitting 2-1. His turn 4, this is another crappy picture, but just to make it quick, he eats one free strike just trying to move around on the left side, and my Harrier actually kills something. He shoots at my, I think he was attacking my Harrier, but just wasn't able to take it down. He killed my one Nephilim soldier, and now is working on my Nephilim protector. He has the one eliminator that ran behind my guy there and locked me down. He was slashing down at Typhon some more, but didn't knock anything out. In the center there, yeah, he had some pretty good hitbacks here, where he was able to come in and kill the Scythian. He killed my Proteus, and so my center is just gone. The only good news I had was that he couldn't get anything completely in the zone in order to get the point, but yeah, this isn't looking all that great. My turn 5, luckily on this side I was able to win out this fight, and so Typhon was able to kill Fenris. I now own this zone, and that's huge because there's nobody else around. And otherwise it looks like this. So on the left side I was able to kill everything except for one of his Widowmakers, so I almost have that zone. Slashing away with my Nephilim Protector, doing pretty much nothing. Really just my one Harrier went berserk and charged the Behemoth. Obviously didn't do anything. I used my Ravagore to kill off his one Mechanic because I was trying to fix the Beast of 9. I had failed last turn, and this was pretty lucky because with all this I was going to be trapped with these 2 jacks right by me. So my Seraph went to shoot at the Eliminator, which of course has high defense, is also going to be in combat, blah blah blah. I only got 2 shots. I think I need a 14 to actually hit, and missed the first one. Luckily hit the second one, boosted damage, killed the Eliminator, and what this allowed me to do then was to zip my Saeryn away from the zone there and be safe. And yeah, at this point, he really took a hard look at it, and we just had to call it because it was just going to be over. Because on his turn, there was going to be nothing he could do to Typhon, so that was going to make it 3-2. Sure, he could go and try and get into the zone or something, but in the center, but that would just kind of give him 1 point. No matter what he did, I was going to be taking the left zone on my turn, and so in the end, he could not get to me and stop me from winning off scenario. He could maybe get a few shots off onto Saeryn. He had the 2 jacks there, but I had respawn on my Nephilim Protector, so even if he killed one, he would just respawn a little bit away to go and lock down the other jack he had there. And so really that was it. So in the end, I thought it was a pretty fun game. Of course, it's always good to go and play these big games up against these experienced opponents. I wish I wouldn't have been the noob and messing up and gone with 2 casters. I don't know how much he was thrown off his game being forced to go with just the 1 caster, and how much of his battle plan was then wrecked because of it. But yeah, it was also thought it was pretty interesting that I thought I was going to lose the outside zones and have to really concentrate on the center and try and go for a caster kill, and it went exactly the opposite. I won the outside zones, got decimated in the center, and then just luckily won by scenario. So there you have it. Hope you liked watching it, and I don't know if anything else is in the plans for any